Good preparation is everything. Today we're showing you how to clean, cut, season, and get a chicken ready for the grill. We'll see you inside. All right, welcome back to the show. So today we have a request. It's chicken on the grill. We're gonna cook this on the Weber kettle. We're gonna show you how to get it clean, and then we're off into the cooker. With no further ado, let's get it on. We have 4 chickens here. We're gonna show you how to cut these and clean this. Top of the chicken, I cut down, come down this way, and then I start to get rid of all this fat. Now, these are small chickens, they're about 3 pounds, so just come down. What I do is tap my way through the bone, come back this way, and put this one off to the side, and I start this way, just come right over. Now underneath this, if you can see this, there is a lot of fat in here. You can see that fat? So what we're doing is we're scraping all that fat out of there. Put it off to the side. And then up underneath here is more fat. So what I do is I pull back the skin from the chicken and see if there's any fat up under there. And there's always fat along this side. Sometimes you get these chickens, they're really clean, and they don't, the smaller ones like this hardly need any cleaning. And that's it. I'll clean up my skin so I don't have a bunch of overhanging of skin. Just go like that and just make it look very appealing. Because when you bite into a piece of chicken, you don't want the first bite that you get a hold of to be a bunch of chicken fat. It's not very pleasant. And then underneath, I just pull off all that fat under there. There's a spot in the back here, usually underneath this spot right here. I take my knife, I come down the side of it because this is where, this is on the thigh piece. This is where you want to get that out of there. Now I'm working with this chicken in quarters because it's a lot easier to work with this chicken in quarters. And then after you're done with that, scrape all that fat off to the side. Now you can find your bone. Just come this way, I go like that, and I'm done. Very simple. These are tiny chickens. Again, the wing here, just want to follow the bone, come down, cut, come to the side. And this is the breast, as you can see all that fat? So this makes for a not very appealing chicken. Whether you're frying it, whether you're barbecuing or baking it, it's just not very exciting to pull fat out of your mouth. And now if you get these nice and cleaned up, I'm gonna show you a couple more pieces. See the wing? It has a big piece of fat that usually hangs over. I try to get rid of that. And I'm gonna show you again on this half. So here's the thigh and a leg. Just follow along the bone side. Just cut in. I have a very sharp knife, so it just makes it right through. All right, just put that there to the side for a second. You see this big flap under here? You want to get that too. All that out of there. I kind of just hang the chicken like that, and it allows me just to get that fat out of there and just let it drop. And this piece over here, I try to get all of that off, just kind of cut through. Cut through that. Again, see this? Just take your knife and just scrape along here, and I'll get that fat right out of there. Just use your knife to kind of just scrape along. Any kind of veins, stuff like that, I get out of there and just scrape along. It's time consuming, it's tedious, but your chicken, it's gonna be amazing when you do this. So one of the first things I ever learned how to do that my mom taught me how to do is clean chicken. And that was my first job before I became a cook, chef. Is just learn how to clean the foods. And that's what we're learning how to do today. Get your chicken really clean. And then once you get it all nice and cleaned up, and in here, there's some livers and end pieces like that, I just scrape out, and I keep my cutting board really clean so it doesn't get back on the chicken. And look at that. So here's a very clean piece of chicken. That's what you want to do. Now, here's the breast meat. So a lot of the breasts, they usually come out clean. And on the breast meats, just kind of follow along and get that fat off of the end there. See that? And if there's any extra skin, if it's hanging over the chicken, just use the skin to cover the chicken. But if it's hanging over there, cut it off. Anything that's hanging on the meat, cut it off. Now these chickens are going to get cut up completely today because we're putting them on the Weber 22-inch kettle. So we're going to show you a nice way to do this. Very simple. And we're going to season these. All right, so that's a whole chicken. I'm going to cut up all of these chickens here. And I'm going to show you in fast motion how I clean these. So let's put these here, and we're going to show you this in fast motion. So this is how I usually do it. Coming right down the back. Come from the side. Bang. Bang, follow through. Let's put that off to the side. Now, I look for this spot over here. I come to the side, bang, it's done. And I'm putting the chicken off to the side as I'm doing it. Couple of my wings, throw those off to the side. And all this fat in the back, I'm scraping it away. See that? Keep your workstation clean. Make it look pretty. See that? All that stuff hanging off of there? Get rid of it. This is what people should be doing to their chicken, and not so much to things like brisket. Just taking away all that nice, beautiful fat. But with a chicken like this, now look at that. Anything hanging off the end, just clean it out. And now, that leads for a very nice presentation before and after you cook your chickens. There we go. So that's a breast. We're gonna come in here. This is the most difficult one to clean. This is a little bit bigger of a chicken on this one, so I just come across, take my hand, just like that, and come right down. You follow the bone. And then anything that's underneath here, just make sure you clean it up. Make the skin look very pretty. And it will pay off in your cook. See all that fat? Just get that out of there. The thighs are the fattiest ones, so what I'll do is just lift up the fat and just follow it through. Pieces like that. And keep your station clean. See how I'm pushing this off to the side? I have a cheap knife, it's sharp, and I use a plastic cutting board, and I always separate my cutting boards from my fresh cutting board. So if I'm using chicken, for example, this is the chicken cutting board that I have, so I stay with a chicken cutting board. And that's that. So look under your skin, any fat that you see, any yellow fat, this is why you want to stick with your smaller chickens, farm raised, because they don't have all that fat. And anything like livers like this, just get it out of there. Just let your knife kind of work it out. You see all that coming out of there? That's all the stuff that you take that first bite of chicken and it's gonna turn you off if it's in there. And that's that. So I'm gonna get the cleaning. I'm gonna meet you right back here to season. Our chickens are all cut up. I just want you to see this. So if you look how clean those are. There's no fat, there's no yellow stuff out of these. I mean, this is what you want when you cut up your chicken. You want it nice and clean, even. You don't see skin hanging all over the place. This, right here to my right, this is what I took from 4 chickens. Imagine biting into that. Not gonna happen. So this is what your guess, if your chickens aren't yielding stuff like this, in fact, if you're not pulling all that off your chicken, you're doing it wrong, folks. So this is what you want right here, gone. All right, so we're gonna season this up. Right here I have kosher salt, 16 mesh black pepper, onion powder, and cooking spray, cooking oil. So let's start. We're going to start with salt and pepper. Now, chicken requires a lot of salt. Now we're putting this directly over the coals. We're cooking directly, we're not cooking indirect. There's no protector from the fire. We're cooking on a Weber 22-inch kettle. And we're cooking directly over the hot coals. And believe me, we will not burn this up. So we got a good amount of kosher salt on here. And chicken requires a lot of salt, like I say. If I was seasoning this inside for a fryer or for a baked chicken, it'd be way too salty. All right, here's your black pepper. Very simple. Don't go crazy. I like a lot of black pepper on my chicken, so I'm gonna go a little bit more. Onion powder. A good old douse there. And we're gonna follow by some cooking spray. And then go back to the other side. See that cooking spray? Look at a good spray. And then flip all your chicken. And you're gonna hit the other side. Just like you did the first side. This way, if you line up your chicken like this, you're not gonna over season because everything's in line. I like to use a tray like this, not a bowl, because when you're using a bowl, you really can't control the amount of seasonings you're put on. Because if you mixed everything, how are you gonna know that you want from this side or that side or in the middle? So don't do that. You want even, consistent seasoning. This way, every piece of chicken you pick up, it all tastes uniform and it tastes like the other pieces that are there too. So you don't want to go from one salty piece of chicken to no salt on the next one. And here we go back again. Kosher salt. If you go up high when you're in the middle, you'll kind of make it even. The higher you go up when you're salting, you might sprinkle the table just a little bit, but you're not going to have concentrated salt in one area. And that is one thing with me that irritates me if you ever go out to dinner, that everything is not seasoned evenly. Here we go. That's the salt. Come back in with the black pepper. See, I'm going high up. I'm gonna get some on the table, but it's all right. As long as I know it's even. I think I gotta afford a little pepper. All right, here we go. Onion powder. And make sure all your caps are tight, because I've done it, I still do it to this day. All of a sudden you go to dump this over and the whole thing just comes out and you're like, oh, come on. All right, onion powder, and we finish off with some spray. Don't be cheap with the seasonings. Chicken requires a lot of it. All right, that's it. We're gonna move them around a little bit, pick up what's on the tray there. And onto the cooker they go. I don't marinate these overnight. These are ready to go right onto the cooker. So, just like that. That's how you want them. And if you see any spots that could go heavier, like this piece right here, just come back in and hit them. And I like mine, like I said, with a little bit more black pepper. I love the black pepper on chicken on the grill. And that's that. All right. We're gonna get this ready to go onto the grill. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes while I get that grill lit and stabilized. And onto the cooker we go. Stick around. And this is what we're gonna be rolling with today. Weber's 22-inch kettle. It's got some great features on it. We're gonna walk you around here, show you a couple of the features, and we're gonna cook on it. So this Weber has a built-in temperature gauge on the hood, which they never put there years ago. This is called the one-touch system, where you could just shake down your coals. So if your ashes are expired, you could just move that back and forth. You could even get your ashes out of there. 4 vents on the top, very easy to use. They adjust in small increments. It even has a hood hanger, so we can get a shot in here. We'll show you the hood hanger, and that allows you to just, like that, hang your hood over the side of the cooker without dropping it. This has nice grates. You can move these two up in the air. That's where if you put a basket down here, you're gonna add coals for indirect cooking. And the bottom, this is the bottom of the grill here. It has holes in there, and you could adjust the holes with the same part of the grill that actually gets out the coals. So if you're emptying out the coals, that same part in the bottom, the holes there, you could just adjust your air vents from there. And that completes our walkthrough of this cooker. We're gonna get our fire lit, and we're gonna show you our coal positions. We'll get the cooking on it. So here is my setup for my charcoal. Today we're running just straight coal, no wood. I have a fire starter in the middle in here. The position that I have these coals in is called a pyramid. If you look at them, they're stacked like a pyramid. They're sitting up high in the center of this right here, and they're just coming uphill. That's the final position of the coals. You're not gonna knock them down, you're gonna leave them in that position, and this is why it's important not to use a fire chimney or starter. When you dump the coals in, it just goes everywhere and you have no control of your fire. So let's get this thing lit, let's get some food on. All right, she's fired up. We're gonna let our coals turn white, and we're gonna get the chicken on. So our coals are stabilizing right now. Just wanna tell you what we're gonna do and discuss our little game plan as we do this cook. Our coals are gonna stabilize. We're gonna put that chicken on there. We're gonna leave the chicken on about 20 minutes aside. We're gonna turn it one time. That's it. Once you turn it that one time, you're gonna cook it for another 15 to 20 minutes on the other side, and we're gonna pull it. Very, very simple meal. Let's get it on. Our grill is stabilized. She's running about 400 degrees, so it's time to put the food on. So this is 4 whole chickens, and this will hold every bit of it. I put my bigger pieces, like my drumsticks, I put them in the line of the fire. My thighs, pieces that are going to take the longest to cook, the dark meat, right into the line of fire. So most of your thighs are going to go in the middle. When we turn this, we're gonna get our thighs out of the line of fire, and we're gonna put our other pieces in. Don't sleep on this Weber, she holds a lot. That's 4 chickens. My last 2 wings. That's it. That's a full load right there. Let's close her up. Now my holes, are cracked a quarter turn. You can see the holes here. Just keep them cracked a quarter turn. Don't touch them for a while. As the fire starts to cool down and all that grease starts to drip down and all that chicken fat starts to go into the cooker, then you can kind of open them up, because this chicken is actually gonna cool down the coals a bit. Then you can actually start to open them up, but you should never be past halfway. So it's time to turn our chicken. Let's take a look. And look at that. She is cooking beautifully. You want to turn over. The pieces that get a little dark, just put them, you'll flip them over here off to the side. But you are turning them. Now, some of the pieces that look a little dark, don't worry, they're not going to be overcooked. They'll come out absolutely beautiful. This chicken cooks great. And the pieces that are like this, we can switch spots. Just get that breast that's here in the middle. Look, we lost the skin to that little guy, but no big deal, we can put him back on. All right. Get them flipped over. You want to do this pretty quick. Now these ones on the end here, I'm going to start to trade these with these. Put your breast in the middle. You got to do some shaking around, but believe me, it'll be well worth it. There we go. And this is where we're going to open our holes up a little bit more. Let's get those breasts turned over. And we're going to bring the ones that don't look so well done into the fire, into that line of fire. There we go. Drop this leg back over here. Get that in there. If you don't do it all in one flip, don't worry about it. You can always come back and turn. Now, once we do this, we're going to bring our fire up a little bit because our fire has cooled down. That's what you want. Everything's pretty much turned. Turn these wings in the back. Bring those wings a little closer to the fire. I'm taking my time because the fire can get crazy. All this chicken all the moisture in it kind of put the fire back a little bit. And what I'm doing is just getting the fire back to where it should be. And the nice part about this is you're cooking over the coals. You see, we're not burning nothing up. We're going nice and easy with it. We're going to put this on. We're going to open these holes up about halfway. Because, like I said, you'll adjust a little bit more. And that's it. And when we pull this, we're going to leave this on running another about 20 minutes. When we pull this, the pieces that you want a little bit more crispy, you can kind of throw them on the fire and pull off most of those pieces and then come back out and just get the rest of them. Very simple. We'll see you after it's done. All right, our chicken's done. We're gonna pull this. Take a look at that. Is that beautiful? That's direct cooking. When we get inside, I'm gonna cut into some of these pieces and show you what we got. But even things like, people think like the breast meat is gonna be, you're gonna burn up the breast meat. Does that look burnt? It's on the bone. And chicken should be cooked well. But these are the thighs. These are cooked beautifully. Look at that. All right, we're gonna pull these. We're gonna get these guys inside, and we're gonna see you on our chopping block. Talk to you soon. Our chicken's done. Look at that. She looks beautiful. All right, let's cut into her. So I have here a breast, a thigh, a leg, and a wing. And we're just gonna show you how to do this. Normally you would just pick this right up, but I just wanted you to get a look at this meat. Look at that. Juicy. And just not slimy. Look at those pieces. I get a little pit master taste there. Excellent. This is our thigh. So we're just gonna pull this apart. Just want you to see that crispy skin. And again, right down to the bone. No fat. Cooked right to the bone. And you can pull all that right off. Pull the bone right out. Look at that. That bone just comes out clean. And if your bone doesn't come out like that and it's bloody, follow my directions. All right, that's our thigh. Got a little pitmaster taste on that. Excellent. My doggies are waiting for this. And here's our leg. Watch how this pulls away from the bone. It's hot, but she pulls right away. And her bone is clean. You can pull that right from the bone. Beautiful. And last but not least, here's our wing. Now this one, I'm gonna have to bite, so I can show you that bite. Look at that. Excellent. Let's get this plated up, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, there it is. Now, if you like what you saw today, hit that button and please subscribe to the channel. And thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope you learned how to cook chicken direct today. Very easy, very simple. You're gonna love it. And as always, I gotta get that pitmaster taste.